to my channel Take IoT. I hope all of you doing well. So as we discussed in last video, logical design of IoT, we complete first part, that is functional blocks of IoT. Now in this video, we are going to learn second and third part, that is communication model and communication API. So let's begin. First one is the request response model. What does it mean? It means if we are a client that we are giving instruction or command or request to the owner or dealer that I want this. Then owner listen our request and it decides what client requires and it send back response to the client that take this. For example, in technical words, our Google, Chrome or any browser, it is like client and we submit HTTP request to server, then server returns response to the client. The response contains status information about request. So in request response model is a communication model in which client send request to the server and server respond to the request. When server receives a request, it decide how to respond and fetch the data. Request response is a stateless communication model. Each request response is independent of other. Do you have question? What is stateless communication model? It means there is no record of previous interactions and each request has to be handled based on entirely on information that comes with it. What is HTTP, HTTP request and HTTP response? How this practically work we will see in our upcoming videos with demo. Just for now, remember its concepts. See real-time examples of request response model. User wants to open bank account, so first he must know the bank address. Then he send request to bank and bank send response, fill application form. After user filling application form, bank responds to the user that you have created your account. Then if he requests that bank he want his bank account details, bank responds with these details. Similar way, if he want to update, delete, then bank send response on his request. Next one is the publisher subscriber model. Publisher subscriber communication model that involves publisher, brokers, and consumers. Publishers are the source of data. Publishers send the data to the topics which are managed by the brokers. Publishers are not aware of the consumer and consumer subscriber to the topics which are managed by broker when the broker receives data for a topic from, from publisher. It sends the data to all subscribed consumers. Here it is a broker, it can be MQTT, Hive MQ. This concept we will learn in depth upcoming videos. Third one is the push-pull model. The real life example of publisher and subscriber is a YouTube. Push-pull model. Push-pull communication model is a model in which data producer push the data to the queues and consumer pull the data from the queues. Producer do not need to aware of the consumers. Queues helps in decoupling message between producer and consumers. Queue also act as a buffer which helps in situation when there is a mismatch between the rate at which producer push data and rate at which consumer pull the data. The best example of push-pull model is the email voicemail. If one person send email for it first going to queue, then it sent to the consumer and consumer open that mail and read it. It means it pull the message. Next one is the exclusive pair communication model. Exclusive pair is a bidirectional fully duplex communication uses persistent connection. Persistent connection, it means network of communication channel remains open for further upcoming HTTP requests and responses rather than closing HTTP single exchange. Once the connection is set up, it remains open until client send request to close the connection. Client and server can send message to each other after connection setup. Exclusive pair is a stateful communication model and server is aware of all open connections. Request response is a transient communication model. It means middleware discards a message if it cannot deliver to receiver immediately. Next one is the communication APIs. In this topic, we are going to see what is REST API, need of REST API, principles of REST APIs, methods of REST APIs, how to create a REST API. So what is REST API? REST suggests to create an object of the data requested by the client and send value of the object in response to the user. For example, if the user is requesting for a movie in Pune at a certain place and time, then you have to create an object on server side. So over here you have an object and you are sending state of an object. This is why REST is known as representational state transfer. If I have to define REST, then representational state transfer, REST is an architectural style as well as approach for communication purpose that is often used in various web service developments. Next one is the need of REST API. Consider a scenario where you are going a using Book My Show app. Now obviously this application needs lots of input data as the data present in the application is never static. Either it movies getting released on frequent basis or various cities showing different languages movies at various times of the day. It's never static, which implies the fact of the data is always changing in this application. Now, where do you think we get this data from? Well, this data is received from the server or most commonly known as web server. So the client requests the server for the required information by an API and then server sends a response to the client. Over here, response sent to the client in the form of HTML web page. But do you think it is a bad response? Well, I am assuming you would say no, since you would prefer the data written in the form of structure format than complete web page. So for such a reason, data written by the server in the response of the request client either in the form of JSON or XML. Both JSON and XML formats have proper structure of data. Now this sounds quite simple, right? But the only issue which is present in this framework until now is that you have used lots of methods to get required information. To this fact, using these methods to retrieve information becomes quite cumbersome when the required complex data. So there is a where REST API comes into picture. REST API creates object, thereafter sends the value of an object in response to the client and it breaks down transaction in order to create small modules. Next one is the principle of REST API. First one is the stateless. The request sent from client to server will contain all required information to make the server understand the request sent from the client. This can be either part of URL, query string, parameters, body, or even headers. The URL is used to uniquely identify the resources and the body holds the state of requesting resources. Once the server processes a request, a response is sent to client through body or status. The next one is the client server. Client server architecture enable a uniform interface and separate client from the servers. This enhances the portability across multiple platforms as well as scalability of the server components. Next one is the uniform interface. To obtain uniform throughout the application, REST has following four interface constraints: resource identification, resource manipulation, self-descriptive message, hypermedia as the engine of application state. Next one is the cacheable. In order to provide better performance, the applications are made often cacheable. This is done by labeling the response from the server as cacheable or non-cacheable, either implicitly or explicitly. If the response is defined as a cacheable, then the client cache can reuse the response data for equivalent responses in the future. Next one is the layer system. The layer system architecture allows an application to be more stable by limiting components' behavior. This type of architecture helps in enhancing the application security as components in each layer cannot interact beyond the next immediate layer. Next one, code on demand. This is optional constraint and use the list. It permits client code or applets to be downloaded and to be used within the application. Next one is the methods of REST API. As all of us working with the technology of the web do CRUD operation. When I say CRUD operations, I mean that we create resources, read resources, update resources and delete resources. Now to do this action you can actually use the HTTP methods which are nothing but the REST API methods. Next one is the WebSocket based communication APIs. WebSocket allows bidirectional full duplex communication between clients and server. WebSocket API follows the exclusive pair communication model. WebSocket API follows the full duplex communication and do not require new connection setup for each message to be sent. WebSocket communication begins with a connection setup request sent by client to server. This request, called as a WebSocket handshake, is sent over HTTP. WebSocket protocol in server response to WebSocket handshake response. After connection is set up, the client and server can send data or a message to each other in full duplex mode. WebSocket API reduces the network traffic and latency as there is no overhead for connection setup. Now in next video, we will create REST API using Node.js. To build that application, you will need Node.js, Express.js, JavaScript object, NodeMon. I hope you like this video, and if you like, then subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates. And if you have any doubt, please let me know in comments. Thank you for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye. See you soon.